It baffles me that this is even a topic of conversation in 2011. Um, Race realism, the whole white supremacist movement. I can't believe how many actual intelligent individuals are being suckered in by this. I have a friend on YouTube who's a devout atheist, not YouTube, on Facebook, uh, and my art website, DeviantArt, who buys into all this race realism bullshit. Don't you want to preserve your culture? What does this color of my skin have to do with my culture? Why should I care about whether the white race exists in the next billion years, next couple million years? Because before we were all just brown apes with brown fur all over our bodies. Then we evolved and found new places to live, and our bodies found new ways to adapt to it, new ways to not die because of our environments and stuff, new different skin pigments, different eye shapes, different hair colors, also based on cultural preferences, whatever was popular to like at the time, whatever was being enforced by the alpha males at the time. What does any of that have to do with what color of skin you are, or what set of physical features on your face make you slightly look like a certain type of ethnicity or member of a different country? What does that have to do with anything? People are just being absolutely stupid about this. Like, it's religious type thinking. It's using an outdated document, something, a race categorization from the 1800s. I believe. I'm just going off information that I saw in other videos and discussions I've had with this person. It just does not make sense in any intelligent way of thinking. Who cares what color our skin is? The best result would end up being everybody pretty much mixed along in some sort of weird brownish color anyway. The only reason why any of the lower races are maybe causing any trouble for white people is because white people are the ones who went around the world and ruined everything for every other race. They're the ones going around conquering and enslaving all the brown people, all the people that they didn't see as pure and perfect in the eyes of their God, or in their own, well, which is their own eyes, because any God's opinion always happens to be the same opinion as the person who's expressing it. But yeah, it's an outdated religious type thinking, using an old document without studying and without realizing that that's outdated, obsolete information, and pushing it anyway. That's what religion is, and that's what race realism is. It's just a bunch of white supremacist, racist assholes trying to come off as some sort of dignified political party. And it just doesn't work. I mean, how can any intelligent person with any sort of skeptical mind, who understands the scientific fact that there is no such thing as a race, all race is a set of different features, physical features, that are common among certain groups of people depending on where their ancestors grew up. And like the Amazing Atheist says, if you have done nothing in your life and all you can do is fall back on the achievements of your race, then what the fuck are you even doing in this conversation? Go home. Read a fucking book. Go to school. Stop being so fucking ignorant and stupid. According to the loose definitions of race, anyone with a big nose is the same race as everyone else with a big nose. You got to understand that it has no bearing in anything other than where these people's ancestors evolved from. And why should we bother to try to preserve that? Should we have are there movements out there right now promoting we should all go back to look like monkeys? We should all have fur all over our skins. Founded by some people who have a lot of hair and are insecure about it and just decide that they want to take over the world. So that's how these groups tend to start. Someone's insecure about themselves, they hate anyone else who doesn't have that insecurity, and they think everyone else should have that insecurity, and so want to take over. I'm not saying people with a lot of hair do that, because I've had girlfriends that have had a lot of hair over their bodies, and that's something natural, and I personally, hey, I like body hair, so I have no problems with it. That was just an example. But that is how these movements tend to start. Someone's pissed off at the world about something that they are insecure about in their own selves, and try to push it on everybody else. Again, it's religious thinking. It's a outdated form of communication. It's an outdated form of pushing anything. The only argument that I've ever heard is, don't you want to preserve your culture? You're a white person. Why do you hate white people so much? And did I ever say I hated white people just because I think colored people deserve to exist, have a right to exist in this world wherever they choose to live? Like what I've heard is that these people want to, these race realists, aka white supremacists, want these categorized races to live in their own countries only, keep them separate from each other. Merging people together can't cause any good at all. It's going to dilute the color, it's going to dilute our race, it's going to make everything so weak and everything's going to fall apart. This is the way the world's been going forever, and considering what the world used to be, this is the best point in our history. This is the least violent, least horrible portion of our history as an entire world since humanity emerged from the ape species. Sadly enough, it is. But if you think about it, medicine and technology and the fact that people aren't dropping like flies just because of simple common colds, that type of progress, we are living in a time better than we've ever had in the entire history of the earth. Of course, everybody's debating that, oh, the 60s were great because everybody's having sex and all that. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about globally. Obviously, globally, there's still a whole lot of shit going on that needs to be changed, and is not going to be changed because the whole world runs on money and religion, and people are too afraid to get rid of their money and religion. And that seems to be at the heart of most global issues. Money, or religious strife, opinion, aka. And now people are trying to add race to all this. Come on, guys, this is the 21st century. This is 2011. We should be past all this stupid racism shit. We're smart enough as a culture to know this. Well, maybe we're not, because there are people that don't. There is no such thing as race. Different traits and different facial features, different skin colors, different shapes of eyebrows, different hair thicknesses. That's human variety. That's every human. That's humanity. We are all equal to each other in that way. We all have our differences. Divided we stand, united we fall. The sort of a philosophy I've sort of come up with. I mean, united, obviously, we should all be working together, but we don't need to all think the same. We don't need to all be the same. We don't need to all like the same things. We can be divided on so many things, which makes us more in common with each other, because we are each divided on so many issues that no one is exactly the same as another person. Some, exceptions here and there, but it's very rare, especially if they've never met before. They have their own different life experiences, different things they've come to enjoy, different things they've come to not enjoy or despise. It just doesn't make any sense to categorize. It would be categorizing this race shit would be the same as categorizing people who like Lord of the Rings opposed to people who do not like Lord of the Rings. It's that trivial. It's that absolutely worthless to even think about, besides the fact of stopping these assholes from doing something stupid like causing another Holocaust. People are afraid that everyone's attacking or hating the white race. I have not experienced that. Well, obviously, I live in a community where there's a lot of Native Canadians, and they did cause a lot of problems with the white people. Obviously, it was our initial fault, but we're not the ones who caused the problem, so we're not the ones to be blamed, so they should stop fucking with us. Because we've stopped fucking with them, at least as far as I know. I have. But I know it's not stopped everywhere. There's still racism everywhere. There's still asshole white people that are trying to get rid of all the dark people. But how can you combat that by becoming one of them? How can you combat being hated by other races by adopting the exact attitudes that would cause people to hate white people? I mean, don't you see the circular logic that you're going through? Like the backwards reverse shit that you can't even jumble up in your own mind to make it sound convincing to anybody else? Wake up.